What up, guys? Nerd Scum reporting in. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, so please bear with me. So the 25th of this month would have been my late father's birthday. He passed last year. He was always really supportive of me and my filmmaking and really everything I tried to do. Likewise, he was also really the biggest reason why I got into comic books in the first place. So, as such, I'm going to do a few videos this month to commemorate him, in tribute to him. And today is going to be the first of those with the movie Kiss and Scooby-Doo, a rock and roll mystery. My dad loved Kiss. It was his favorite band. He made multiple Gene Simmons costumes. He drew them all the time. He played bass, mostly Kiss songs. Like, he was a diehard fan. He also loved animation, so a couple of years ago after this movie came out, me and my brother made sure to grab it for him as part of his Father's Day gift. And, of course, he loved it. So as the first part of my Dennis Wayne Ari tribute video series, here is Kiss and Scooby-Doo, a rock and roll mystery. So we start off at a Kiss-themed amusement park, and we get this really great, classic kind of Scooby-Doo opening, where there are these two mechanics working on a ride, and in these mechanics we have cameos from Jason Mewes and Kevin Smith of Jay and Silent Bob fame. And as they're testing out this ride, all of a sudden this character called the Crimson Witch shows up and scares the crap out of them. So they run and tell the park owner, and the park owner's like, great, this is all we need. Like, the park... We have this big Halloween show coming up, and if Kiss doesn't play, the park's going to go under. So we've got no choice. We're going to call in the greatest mystery solvers the world has ever known. And then we cut over to Scoob and the gang, where we find that Scooby, Shaggy, Velma, and Daphne are all dressed up like Kiss. Whereas Fred is looking his normal self and is going on about how he doesn't understand why they're so into Kiss. Like, his group, his favorite group, the Ascot Five, they never have to resort to such things. So anyway, they show up at the park, and as they show up, there's a group of people just, like, fleeing and running out, and they're basically like, hey, we're the Scooby Gang. Like, we're here to solve your mystery. And at this point, we find out that despite what Daphne has told the others, they weren't invited. They're not the mystery solvers who've been called in. She just saw an opening and took it because she wanted to meet Starchild. Which, by the way, a man of Paul Stanley's age being referred to as Starchild does get a little bit creepy in this movie. I'm just going to point that out right now. It's a thing. Let's move on. So, despite them not being invited and being thrown out of the park, they decide that they're going to sneak back in and solve the mystery anyway, because they're the Scooby Gang, and that's what they frickin' do. So, they sneak back into the park, and through a series of events, they end up running into and meeting Kiss. And the funny thing turns out to be that Kiss is actually the world's greatest mystery solvers that have been called in to handle this, because they are cosmic-level mystery solvers, as opposed to the Scooby Gang, who I suppose are, like, in Marvel terms, they're street-level mystery solvers. You know what I'm saying? So, basically, the two groups meet, and they decide that they're going to team up, which might seem weird, I guess, but...
Starchild seems to think they're okay. Plus, they've got a talking dog, which is kind of wild.
So they begin the investigation. As they're moving through the park, we kind of get a tour of the park. Meanwhile, at the same time, their manager, Kiss's tour manager, keeps popping up trying to sell the kids shit, like Kiss-themed shit. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty funny. The self-aware humor in this movie does work out pretty well. And then we get to... this.
Remember, underneath all that makeup is just a regular guy who puts his pants on like everyone else.
Kiss costume change. Activate.
Come on.
What the hell? A Sailor Moon power-up sequence? Okay, I don't know where this movie's go. I don't know what else happens in this movie, but at this moment, I'm down. I'm game. Right on, Kiss Scooby-Doo. What else you got for me? Then the investigation continues. And then throughout the investigation, they kind of split off into groups, which is cool because Daphne is really into Star Child, and it's really making Fred jealous. And there are these moments in there where you really get the feeling that the ascot's about to come off, man. You better watch out, Star Child. The ascot's about to come off. They come across this gypsy, soothsayer, fortune teller type lady who gives them the information that the Crimson Witch is looking for something called the Black Diamond, or the Rock of Kysteria, which she needs to basically awaken and unleash this ancient monster entity god thing known as the Destroyer. And then this happens. What? 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 What?
Kiss defibrillator.
I'm not 100% sure what I just saw. But I'm going to try to use words now. So, Kiss go to Kisteria. They meet with the elders. They get in touch with their ancient power. Them and the Scooby Gang team up, fight the witch. The witch is somehow able to unleash the Destroyer, which is this giant, weird Jack Kirby-looking creation thing, but then they all unite again, and like they do the different things. Like one over here is like fighting the monster, and then the other one's over here, and the Kiss is like they're playing their concert, and they're getting all the energy from all their fans, and it's like going to power the fight against the monster, and then like they all unite the power of their rock, and they frickin' win. This movie's awesome! Holy shit! The humor in the movie is really on point. It's very well written. It feels very true to both the characters of Scooby-Doo as well as these kind of amped up superhero versions of Kiss that we know from like Marvel Comics and Image Comics and all those different iterations. While at the same time, a lot of the humor is very self-aware humor that actually kind of makes fun of their source material, kind of with a wink and a nod, which is great. The way that Kiss's manager keeps popping up and like trying to sell stuff to the kids, as well as kind of like the fourth wall breaky stuff they do with Scooby-Doo and the gang is really fantastic. The animation's really on point. Like the action is really well done, which is something you don't really expect from an animated Scooby-Doo movie. The musical sequences, while silly and over the top, are perfect. I love the way that they incorporated different kind of aspects of Japanese anime, because Kiss has such a big fan base in Japan, and I think part of it is catering to them, but also just the aesthetic mixed with the story they're telling is really awesome. At the same time, I do want to mention that this story, one of the things I like about it the most is that it's in many ways a repurposing of the extremely crappy TV movie that Kiss made back in the day, Kiss vs. Phantom of the Park, which, by the way, it is in its entirety on YouTube. I would highly suggest you go check it out. It is worth every moment of your time. You will laugh your ass off. It's horribly fantastic. Beyond that, like, yeah, I was never bored in this movie. Their use of the Jack Kirby style of art, there is so much Kirby crackle in this movie that it is insane. Like, the different elements, they just all fit together so well in a way that you never would expect, that you end up getting a really entertaining, fun ride that has all the elements that you like of all these different things pushed into one. The best way I can really describe this movie is as if, like, it's like if Shaggy was on an acid trip on his way to the Kiss concert while reading a Jack Kirby New Gods comic. And this is the trip that resulted from that. That is the best way I can describe this movie to you. And if that doesn't sound awesome, I don't know what to do for you. I can't help you.
Well done, pathetic scum. Thanks, Mr. D.
Right on, guys, that was Kiss and Scooby-Doo, a rock and roll mystery, and I highly recommend it. It is a rocking good time, and that is an awful joke, but I'm keeping it because that's how excited I am about this movie. Man, I am so glad I got this movie from my dad. He loved it. I love it. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Give this video a like, share with some friends, maybe subscribe, and that one was for you, Dad. Nerd Scum out.